For years, the price of a laptop or a gaming console followed a predictable path. You expected the cost to stay flat, or at most, creep up slowly alongside the annual rate of inflation. But we are seeing a sudden shift. Without warning, Apple and Microsoft have implemented significant price increases across their entire hardware catalogs. The MacBook Neo saw a $100 hike, while the iPad Air and Xbox Series X jumped $150. The markup is worse on high-end machines. The MacBook Pro is up $300, and India faces a 70,000 rupee explosion. These increases are being driven by a massive supply chain disruption in the semiconductor industry, specifically regarding the memory chips that power every modern device. This means everyday buyers are now paying a hidden surcharge to accommodate the global race for artificial intelligence hardware. This raises a question about how these companies operate. Apple has the most sophisticated supply chain in the world. Why couldn't they just absorb these costs to keep their prices steady? Even for a company with $1 trillion valuation, there is a profit margin wall. This is the point where the cost of raw materials rises so sharply that the company can no longer maintain its business model without passing those costs to the consumer. The specific components hitting that wall are dynamic RAM and NAND storage. These are the fundamental chips used for short-term memory and long-term storage in everything from a smartphone to a server. This graph shows the scale of the crisis. In the first quarter of this year, RAM prices rose by 98%. Industry projections suggest another 60% jump is coming in the next 3 months. The situation prompted a rare admission from Apple CEO Tim Cook, who described these component costs as a 100-year flood. The sheer volume of this price spike has overwhelmed the financial defenses of the tech giants, resulting in the higher retail prices we see today. To understand why this is happening, we must look at who is actually buying these chips. It turns out you aren't the only one competing for memory. Companies like NVIDIA, Google, and Microsoft are currently in a massive build-out of AI data centers. Training a large language model requires a staggering amount of high-performance memory to process billions of parameters simultaneously. Because of this demand, chip makers like Micron are prioritizing these enterprise orders over the chips used in consumer electronics. To put a number on it, Micron recently secured $22 billion in long-term commitments for AI-specific memory infrastructure. This has created a zero-sum environment. Laptops and consoles are being starved of components because chip manufacturers are focusing on server farm contracts that offer much higher margins. The reality is that the era of inexpensive storage and flat year-over-year pricing is currently on pause. We expect a ripple effect across the industry. If Apple and Microsoft are forced to raise prices, competitors like Dell, Lenovo, and HP, who use the same suppliers, will likely have to do the same. As prices rise, the market is expected to contract. Research firms are currently projecting that global PC sales will drop by more than 11% this year as consumers back away from these new prices. If you need to buy now, look for existing inventory at third-party retailers like Amazon or Best Buy. These stores often hold older stock at the original prices before their systems are updated to reflect the new costs. If your current tech is still working, consider waiting. If consumer demand drops as much as predicted, manufacturers may be forced to offer deep discounts during the holiday season to move unsold units. The AI boom is often discussed as a digital revolution, but for the average user, the most immediate impact isn't a new feature, it's the higher price tag on the hardware in their pocket.